Hey y'all, Iric Sky here, and in the spirit of New Year's 2017, I wanted to talk about some fitness goals. Now before I continue, I want to say I'm not a trainer, I'm not a doctor, and none of this should be considered medical or fitness advice. So with that being said, I'm about to share with you some things that I'm going to try personally for myself that will hopefully produce positive results in 2017. Now, if you've watched my channel, you know that I like to eat a lot, and inevitably being an entrepreneur, it's a situation where there's little time for rest, much less little time for working out. But we're going to cover all that within this video, strategies for making fitness a mandatory component of every day. Diet is something that a lot of people say, oh, you got to eat this, you got to eat that, and that's something that I've tried in the past. And I found that with the diets, what happens for me is that I'm so caught up in buying this particular type of food, and it typically costs more, it's typically more difficult to find in stores, and it becomes such a hassle and such a cost issue that I quickly lose interest. I found that if I eat certain things, now obviously I'm not in perfect shape, I've got a lot of fitness goals to exceed, but some simple things that I do, like for breakfast, I may eat a turkey sandwich, and instead of putting mustard and instead of putting mayonnaise rather and all of that kind of stuff on it, I may put some mustard and some hot sauce, and just have some whole wheat bread. I know a lot of people have their own opinions about bread, but it's a healthier, in my opinion, it's a healthier alternative to, say, a sausage and biscuit or gravy and biscuit and that sort of stuff, when you think of breakfast food. So that's the way I can kind of start and be somewhat energized in the morning. Now for lunch, I'll eat whatever. And I try to stay away from fast food whenever possible. But if I do eat fast food, I'll look at the menu and I'll try to find something that's less unhealthy. Notice I said less unhealthy, implying that most everything, even if you go to a fast food restaurant and order a salad, a lot of people assume, oh, because it's a salad that it must be healthy. And often, if you look at the nutritional information for that salad, it may even be worse than, say, a sandwich and fries kind of combo. So check all the numbers and you may be shocked. But in a perfect world, what I would eat for lunch would be a tuna salad, something that was mixed with low-fat mayonnaise, something I mixed and refrigerated the night before to make the flavors better. And you can spice that up with tuna salad. You can go something simple like a little bit of garlic powder and black pepper. You could put a little bit of salt in there if you need to, but typically I try to stay away from salt. If you want to spice it up, put you some hot sauce in there. Mix that tuna salad flavor up throughout the week so it doesn't become boring. That would be, in my opinion, one of the best case scenarios for a lunch. Now for dinner, I always eat a big dinner. Dinner is super important. Obviously breakfast is important too because it gives you the energy to get going. But dinner is super important, so I try to eat just a well-balanced meal of vegetables and meat. And I never try to eat too close to bedtime because that, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a fitness trainer, but I've just found that if I eat a few hours before bedtime, it's better for me. Drink tons of water. I drink a ton of water. If I do drink a carbonated drink, I try to limit it to one a day. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll drink like half of a big brand soda. I'll drink half of that in the morning because I don't drink coffee. And then I may drink the other half with dinner. Some tools that are very affordable and not gimmicky in my opinion. This right here is and I don't want to say the brand name because they're marketed by so many things, but this is for ab workouts. And you can check the link within this video's description and find this and a lot of other tools online. One of the things that prevents a lot of people from meeting or exceeding their fitness goals for the new year are gym membership costs. A gym can be very expensive, but a gym can also be motivating. If you're not a self-motivated type, going to a gym may be a good thing for you. Become part of a cardio workout class and have others motivate you. And if you don't show up, they ridicule you. They're like, man, where were you? Where were you? You're lazy. You know, you get that extra motivation. But if you're like me and you're highly self-motivated, taking advantage of a ab workout tool such as this, mixing it in with cycling and or treadmill, or maybe even an outdoor jog, even without getting involved with a lot of strength training, you may be able to maintain your body weight. Now, I mean, I'm obviously not a perfect example. I've got a gut, but that's what I want to do, is eliminate the gut and get the 6-pack or the 8-pack of abs back, because that's important. And you know, there's so many ways that people can go about this, but again, you know, just get to know yourself and don't buy into all the hype, because ultimately with New Year's especially, gyms are trying to put out all of this salesy type stuff, and it may be a good thing. You know, fill it out for yourself. Ask yourself, can I be self-motivated enough to meet or exceed my fitness goals in 2017? If you can't, definitely go for the gym. But if you can and you got a little bit of a budget available, again, I personally don't like the overpriced diets, because that's a lot of money. But I mean, it may be in one's best interest to buy a treadmill, to buy something like this ab workout tool, and really be able to to push oneself. Get you a scale. You know, don't weigh yourself daily, because it can be discouraging. But weigh yourself once a week. You know, keep a log of everything and see those positive results. Look in the mirror. You know, maybe even photograph yourself every day with your shirt off, and just look at it and just be like, well, you know, the pictures don't lie and the scale doesn't lie, and that'll tell you you're either failing or you're succeeding. And I mean, it's that simple. So that's something I would do. Again, check the link within this video's description. I've got scales, I've got treadmills, all kinds of workout stuff listed there that you can check out. And most importantly, again, back to the thing, I mean, tons of us work multiple jobs, and it leaves very little time for sleep, much less fitness. But you got to work it in. And my best advice, a lot of people prefer to do things first thing in the morning. I like to do things in the morning, but I like to work first thing in the morning. So what I do first thing in the evening, before I do dinner, before I do anything else, is that I'll do my workout. And I know it would probably be better to do it in the morning. If you've got a choice, it may be better for you to do it in the morning versus the evening, for a couple reasons. Number one, when people work out in the morning, typically from what I've heard, they may have their body may feel better, and they may continue to burn fat throughout the day versus doing it in the evening. But whatever the case may be, it's important to get an acceptable workout in daily. And we haven't even touched on strength training. I mean, this has been primarily focused upon cardiovascular and a little bit of toning with the ab workout tool. But I mean, there's ways to, if you don't join a gym, there's ways to get affordable strength training equipment in your home or wherever that won't break the bank. So I posted some of that within this video's description too. It's really a matter of how serious you want to become with exceeding your personal fitness goals for the new year. So, check it all out. And what works for one person may not work for everyone else. And keep in mind, when you start a workout routine, typically people will hit what's called a plateau. And the plateau is where people are continuing to do the same thing daily, but they're not seeing the results as rapidly as they did. So it's a situation where someone probably needs to, change their workout routine, see what works best for their body. Consult with a licensed fitness trainer, and see what they may recommend. But I mean, there's so many ways to do this. The main thing though is just getting started and continuing, because with my multiple career obligations, I used to be very physically fit. I almost had an 8-pack of abs. And I know it's hard to believe that Irish guy was in that good a shape, but that was the case. And it's my goal to get back into that condition. Now, sure, I'm older now, but there's no reason to not just be perfectly fit. I mean, especially people that do a lot of their that their job involves being in front of a camera. I mean, it's important to look as good as possible, in my opinion. So for that reason, I'm super motivated, given the limited time that I have, I'm super motivated to continue to proactively go after this goal and exceed this goal. So stay tuned to my channel in 2017 and tell me what you think. You ought to see me start to lose weight. That's my objective. And again, I'm going to do these things for myself, not encouraging y'all to do them. You know, if you want to check it out, that's fine. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a fitness trainer. I'm just providing this information for entertainment purposes only. But if you do notice on my channel that I'm starting to lose weight, tell me. If you notice I'm starting to gain weight, tell me that too. Because see, I need to know this, and it's super important. You know, keep yourself fit, and it'll make you even happier. So happy New Year, everyone! I wish everyone the best of luck with your personal fitness goals or whatever you may be pursuing in 2017. Be sure to subscribe to Our Skies Adventure channel if you haven't already. YouTube.com/iRickSky. Share this video and any of my videos with others. Thanks for watching, and y'all have a good New Year. A Happy New Year. Hey y'all, iRickSky here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.